Hello everyone and welcome back to Genuine Chit Chat, the podcast where we're going to help you grow through what you go through. Today it's actually my first episode on my own. I mean, not my own, little Oscar's down here. Hello. So I just thought I didn't actually want to do it on my own because I'd be too lonely, so he's going to keep me company. But this episode is going to be about 25 things I've learned in 25 years of living, as it was my birthday last month, and thought, what better way to do it than do it on my own so I can just connect with you guys. So yeah, let's get into it. Hello everyone and welcome back. Welcome to the first episode where it's just me on my... Oh, Oscar, sorry. He just done the cutest little turn ever. Sorry if most of this episode is me just doing that, but yeah, I'm excited for just my little voice to be coming through your little earbuds. But today's episode is really important because I thought there's so many things I've learned throughout these 25 years of living. I thought, why not put it into an episode? If you're ready, let's bloody get on with it. So, number one, and the biggest one there could be, your 20s is bloody confusing. So confusing. No one warned you for it. No one told you what we need to do. I feel like at school there should have been a lot more sort of guidance into, okay, you're going to finish your exams and then your life's going to be so confused, you don't know what to do. I don't know whether to move country. I don't know whether to get another job. I don't know whether to learn a new language. I don't know whether to learn a new skill. I don't know whether I should be buying my own property or whether I should be saving that and investing it. You just don't know what you should do. You don't know what the next step is. You don't know what the next corner is. And it just gets so difficult when you sort of see other people at your age doing completely different things. You're like, oh my God, am I doing something wrong? Or you're doing something more than someone else. You're like, am I being a bit too eager? Or just so many different things. It is so confusing. So I just want anyone in that period right now to know that you are not alone, because yes, I've got my podcast set up, but I am still bloody confused with life. Don't really know what I'm doing after this. I'm just kind of going with the flow. So yeah, if you can relate to that, then I'm glad, because you just don't know what to do. I just don't know whether to get into... I mean, I know I want to get into a new career industry, but I don't know whether I should start getting into that or go travelling more, because there's so many countries I want to go to. One of my big goals is to get to 30 countries before I'm 30. And then I'm like, okay, bro, if I'm 25 now, if I start a new job and I probably want to get into that, I should be there for a couple of years before I go travelling. But then that means I'm only 5 years away from being 30. Where am I going to fit that all in? Do you see what I mean? It's just confusing, and you're not on your own, because I'm sure Oscar's just as confused as me. Look at him. Doesn't even know what to do with himself, but it is confusing. So if you're listening to this, you ain't on your own. Number two, one of my favourites, do not snooze your morning alarm. And don't sit there and be like, oh, but no, you don't understand how tired I am. That is just excuses on excuses, right? The minute you snooze your alarm when you wake up, say you've set it for 6 o'clock, you sneeze it to 10 past 6, quarter past 6, 20 past 6, 25 past 6, half 6, you're going to be even more knackered. Yes, you feel tired as soon as your alarm goes off. No one's going to wake up and be like, oh my God, I feel amazing. I feel absolutely awake and absolutely brilliant today. No one does that. If you do, please give me some tips. But the minute that alarm goes off, you need to do... Mel Robbins, she said this thing that you need to count yourself down from 5. So literally lay there and be like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get the covers off and get out of bed. Because once you're up, you're up. Once they're up, they're up. And once they were down, when they were down. Enough way that they're only up and down. Anyway, yeah, don't snooze your alarm, because that will make you... I promise you now, that will make you 10 times more tired. And also, if you're snoozing your alarm, you're literally saying to the universe, nah, I don't want to do today. Let me just have 5 more minutes in bed. You're already putting that negative energy into your day. Whereas if you're going the other approach and just getting up as it goes off, you're like, yes, I'm ready for the day. I'm ready to tackle you. So that is an important one. Number 3, no one thinks about how you acted when you were drunk, okay? I'm sure many of you listening, like I've had before, is anxiety. You'll go on a night out, you'll get drunk, you'll do something stupid, not even stupid, just funny. And the next day when you're hanging, you're constantly thinking that everyone's going to be thinking, oh my God, how embarrassing was Jen last night? No, they're not. No one cares about you. They just care about themselves, all right? No one actually cares about you. As harsh as that sounds, you are not the main character. As sad as that is, because I love being the main character, you're not all the time. Everyone is worrying about themselves. So please don't, as easy as it is to say, don't let your hungover day be fueled by emotions where you're feeling worried, you're feeling anxious, you're regretting what you've done, because everyone that night would have had a great night. Those memories they have of you that you're cringing about, they're probably thinking, oh my God, how funny were they? How much fun were they to be with? How nice were they? Whereas you're just sitting there thinking the complete opposite, which is completely wrong. Because how often do you sit there when you're hungover thinking, oh my God, what did she do last night? What did he do? I can't believe he done that. Oh my God, I can't believe it. You do not spend your whole day thinking about that. If you do, you need to go get yourself checked out, because that's just a little bit weird. But yeah, just go out, have fun, and don't care about the next day, because no one is thinking of you. Number 4, budgeting is the way forward. Honestly, shout out to my sister Anna. She helped me with this. I used to be so awful with money. I am in a job where I get paid weekly. So if I had big bills coming out at the end of the month, I'd always find it so hard, because I'd have to make sure each week I kept enough to get me to that point, but then also spend money on food shops, things like that week. So budgeting, the way I go forward now is if I've got bills at the end of the month, say my rent or my phone bill, blah, 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 it works for me weekly. I mean, it will be different if you're paid monthly, which majority of you probably will be. Just budget it. So my phone bill is quite expensive. It's around 80 quid, because my first phone got stolen and I didn't have insurance on it. So that's probably another one to put on the list. Get phone insurance, because if you don't, you're going to end up paying 2, like me, where your bill's 80 quid a month. So don't do that. Yeah, so now I budget it every Friday. I put £19 away every Friday. So then eventually when it comes out of my account, it feels like it's free money, because then you just take it out from your little saving pot. Monzo is the way forward. Have these little like budgeting pots. And then it just becomes so much easier. Even things like holidays, if you put, when I went to Ibiza, I put £50 away every week or a certain amount away every month, and just breaking it up into small little budgets makes it so much easier, I promise you. And just have it on a spreadsheet. If you're interested in the spreadsheet that I use, honestly, give me a message and I'll send it to you, because it has helped me so much. So yeah, stop spending your money, stop being stupid, and budget it. Right, number 5, what this whole podcast is about, manifesting is the way forward. Honestly, it's just, manifesting is about putting yourself in that high vibrational state. And after this episode, I'm not sure whether it will be the next one or one after, I'm going to do an episode solely on manifesting, about how you do it, what it will bring about, how you can use it in different situations and different scenarios. Because I feel like I've had a lot of guests on here where we speak about it, but we haven't gone into depth about how you actually do it. So I will definitely create an episode on that to help you out. But honestly, manifesting is the way forward, and that's all I've got to say about it. Number 6, you can say no. You do not have to do things you don't want to do. You don't have to meet people you don't want to. You don't have to take part in something that you're uncomfortable with. You don't have to do what other people tell you to do or ask you to do. I feel like when we were younger, we always, I mean, I'm just speaking personally, we were always such people pleasers, where we would say yes to plans we didn't want to go to because we didn't want people to think bad of us, or we would carry on the night when you wanted to go home because you're like, oh no, but if I go home, they're going to think I'm a loser. And what would just, I mean, stuff like that's silly. Or even if you don't want to, if you've been speaking to someone you don't want to carry on anymore, just say no. Just say, think of yourself before you're worried about what others are going to think, because I really don't think anyone cares. If there's a night out where you're just not feeling up for it, and that's so fine. It can be a friend's night out, whatever, a date, whatever. If you're genuinely not in the right place and you don't want to go, just say no. You're allowed to, and it will make you feel better. And if it is a night out you're missing, everyone will be gutted that you're not there, but then they'll just get drunk and they won't even probably remember anyway. So yeah, just know that you are allowed to say no. Number 7, if someone puts you down, don't take it personally, as it is their own insecurities coming out. This one I bloody love, because you can, I think a lot of these things is based around people pleasing. Sometimes you let people's opinions hurt you when it's not their I'm not trying to stand up for them. It's not that they're personally trying to attack you. It's their own personal insecurities that are coming out, which makes them then jealous of you. So they're then putting you down in order to give that sense of bringing themselves up a little bit. And that is most likely majority of the time where it's stemming from. So don't take it too personally when someone puts you down, because that is not your problem. That is their problem. Next one. Number 8. Your limiting beliefs are a load of Honestly, those limiting beliefs you have in your head, you are purely making up. And it's all about, what if it doesn't work though? What if it's not going to happen? What if I'm not going to be successful? You need to change the narrative. What if it is going to work? What if I am going to be successful? Those limiting beliefs that are stopping you are literally like a roadblock, and you need to get your bloody hammer out and get them out of the way, because they are useless. Before I started this podcast, I had so many limiting beliefs, and now I've started it. I'm like, it's so sad that I wasted so much time not starting it because of these limiting beliefs saying it's not going to work. You don't know what you're doing. You had no skills in this before. You don't know how to work all these softwares. I've taught myself and I've done it. So if you're having limiting beliefs about anything, that you're worried you can't do something, put them to bed and just get on with it. Number 9, your chimp can be controlled. I don't know if any of you read the book called The Chimp Paradox, but it's such a great book, and it teaches you that when in your brain you have your brain and you have this chimp on the side, and that chimp is the one that's in control of all of those responses. If you're getting angry in a situation, someone was like, oh, I don't know, why did you do that? That was really rude. You'd be like, what do you mean? Why are you saying that? I'm not rude, you're rude. You could sit there, and that is your chimp coming out. That's your chimp fighting. He's pulling on the bars, being like, let me out. You can control your chimp, and once you're aware of that, you will be able to deal with situations so much better. Because if you're in a situation where something's annoyed you, you can then retaliate, and the situation will get way more heated, and then they'll get more heated, you'll get more heated, and it will just end up awfully. Whereas if you actually control your chimp and someone's annoyed you by saying something, you can sit there and be like, okay, is that all you've got to say? And just keep your tone calmer and just control your chimp, and I promise you, you will not get into such heated situations or scenarios as you usually have been, because your chimp can be controlled. That's not you as a person. You're not always angry, or you're not always upset. You're not your chimp. You're yourself. That is the chimp you can control. So again, like your limiting beliefs, put your chimp to bed in certain situations. Not all of them, but in certain. Number 10, pretty random on this one, but one thing I've really learned is that you should teepee every night, and that will help. Because I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but you know those little sticks where after you floss, you put the little sticks in between your teeth, like to get proper in there. I used to do it when I was younger, and I always used to not do it, and then I'd go to the dentist and they'd do it and my gums would bleed. They're like, oh, you're not using the teepees? I'm like, yes I am. I was lying, I wasn't. Because every time I'd done it, my gums would bleed. And I thought, oh, they're just not made for me, my gums aren't strong enough, whatever. But if you use them every night, your gums will get stronger and you'll stop bleeding. And your breath will stop stanking. So it's a win-win. So yeah, order some teepees and teepee every night, people. Number 11, cold showers will change your morning. I've said this once and I will say it again. Even in the winter, if you're feeling tired in the morning, like most mornings before work, you'll have a shower. For the last 60 seconds, put it on freezing cold and just turn around in a circle. If you have a handheld shower, that's great. That's what I normally use. I'll just put it up on the wall and I won't just stand there like this. I'll literally turn around in a circle and I go 60, 59, 58, 57. And then for the last 10 seconds, I'll just have it purely on my face. And after you then turn it off, you feel so energized and so alive compared to how you did when you first got into the shower. It's incredible. And especially in winter, as much as you don't want to do it, you know when you've had a really hot shower in winter and you turn it off, you go back to your room to get changed and you are freezing. If you put the last 60 seconds of your shower onto freezing, when you turn that off, you're actually warm because you're warmer. Well, because you're colder than the air outside of that shower, you actually become warmer, if that makes sense. But yeah, I would definitely recommend that. Just make sure it's the start of your day so much better. Number 12, motivational speeches on Spotify. Wow, 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 wow. They honestly help me so much. And there's this coach called Coach Payne. I'm sure you would have heard his voice before. He's the one with all the dramatic music in the background. And he's American. He's like, if you're listening to this, just know you can do it. Sorry, that really cringed me out, but that is your man. Honestly, if you're feeling like you have no motivation, and I always do it when I can't be bothered to go to the gym. I'll listen to it as I'm walking there, and you will feel so pumped up. I honestly cannot recommend him enough. I think it's called like Motiversity something. Motiversity, yeah, on Spotify. Honestly, unreal. It'll make you so determined to get on with your day. It'll make you remember who you are, and it will give you that motivation you need. Number 13, a small compliment will go a long way. Honestly, the amount of times this has made me feel good giving someone a small compliment, not even just your friends or family, but like strangers. If you go out to bars or pubs or restaurants, I remember I was on a night out a couple of weeks ago, and there was this girl just on her own in the bathroom, and I literally was like, oh my God, I love your dress. And she honestly was, I think she was in a really bad way, and she was like, that honestly made my night, thank you so much. And it's like just small little things. It will take you 2 seconds to give someone a compliment, and that will make their whole day. Honestly, wherever you can, if you're thinking it, just say it. I used to kind of not say it. I don't know why, because again, back when I was younger, I think it would probably be my own insecurities. I'd be jealous, so I wouldn't compliment them because I'd be jealous that I don't have that. Whereas if you just compliment them and you're making them happy, that will also make yourself happy. And I promise you, you will feel so good for doing it. You feel like you've done a good deed for the day. So yeah, compliment people. Number 14, go on dates on your own. I know this sounds cringe and awkward, and you think you'd be so embarrassed to do it, but no one is looking around you. Honestly, it's one of the best things I've done. I went to this gig on my own in London Bridge because I absolutely love this artist, and asked people if they wanted to go, but I don't think anyone really knew who he was. His name is Seku, if I've pronounced that right. And honestly, I heard him once on New Friday Music on Spotify, and I was like, who is this? And then looked into him. He was only 18 years old when he first, well, the videos that I was looking with his music. And I thought, do you know what? I'm actually just going to go and see him on my own. And I went there, and it was such a good night. I was obviously embarrassed. When I first got there, I went for drinks in Flatiron next to the venue, and I literally just sat there on my own with a beer, and I was like, oh my God, this is so awkward. And I felt like that about the first 5-10 minutes. Then after a while, no one's looking at you. No one's actually thinking, oh my God, what a loser sitting on their own. And even if they are, cool, you ain't going to see them again, so why do you care? But honestly, go on self-dates on your own, because you feel so good after it, because it's like you're giving your time, you're giving that dedication to yourself to love yourself, and you feel so good after doing it. Even just going to a cafe for a little coffee on your own, or going shopping on your own, just having that time to yourself. You don't have to be sat there speaking to someone else. It makes you feel so good in yourself. So definitely self-date yourself. Number 15, walking will switch your mindset 100%. If you walk in the morning, it will start your morning off great. I remember in winter last year, I used to go on morning walks when I was doing the 10,000 steps a day challenge, and it got to winter, because I think it started in November, and it got to winter, and I was so dreading it because it was raining, and I was like, I really don't want to go on this. I'm tired. I can't be bothered. And for the first 10 minutes, I'd be like, no, I'm not going to feel better. And I'd be with my mum. In the last 45 minutes, you'd be like, oh my God, we feel great. Like, you don't think you're going to feel good, but you honestly will, because the more you're getting that blood flowing, your body's pumping, those endorphins are being released, and it will make you feel so much better. And even sometimes if I've been working from home and you kind of get that cabin fever, where you've been stuck inside all day, just go for a quick 20-minute walk after work, and you will feel so much better and so much more energized, so much more motivated to get on with your night. I honestly couldn't recommend it enough. Walking is the way forward. Number 16. This is a big one, which kind of relates to point 1 of 20s being confusing. We are all on different paths at the same age. And I think that has so much context to it, where, for example, I'm 25. Some of my friends are getting married. Some have had a baby. Some are in a long-term relationship. Some are a manager at a job. Some are unemployed. Some are traveling. Like, you're so different to what's around you. It makes you freak out, because you think, oh my God, I should be doing that. We're the same age. Why am I not doing that? Why have I not got that? Or, wow, what, I should be going traveling. Maybe I should be enjoying my life. No, I should be getting a career like her. She's doing amazing. But you shouldn't have to be, because everyone's life, we've all got our own paths, and we're going to all hit these milestones at different points. We are not created in this life to hit all these milestones at the same time, because that would just be boring. Sorry, but if we all had a wedding in the same year, if we all got pregnant in the same year, if we all got engaged in the same year, if we all started our dream job, that is effort. That would be so much effort to go to that amount of weddings, that amount of engagements, that amount of baby showers. Like, no, who wants that? So don't compare yourself to someone who's the same age. but it's a complete different path. And I think that's why it relates to your 20s being confusing, because when you're at school, you're all in the same year, you're studying the same subjects, you're doing the same things on the weekend. Your life is so involved with everyone else that you are all on the same path at that point. But once you come out of that, your wings start flapping and you start going your own direction. So yeah, stop focusing on other people's lives about what they're doing and what you're not, because your path is made for you and you're going down the right track. And if you're listening to this feeling like you're not, you are, and you'll look back at this point and be like, why was I so worried? So yeah, carry on your path, because this path was made for you. Number 17, back to walking meditation. Now that is key. There is this girl called Cleo Massey who was actually from H2O, but that's not all she's about. She has a podcast called Pass Around the Smile, and one of my favourite walking meditations is her. It's like you're doing two things at the same time. You're walking, which is good for you, meditating, which is good for you, and you're literally hitting two birds, one stone, and you feel not only energized from the walk after, but you also feel energized by the meditation, where you're actively working on yourself in multiple ways. I honestly recommend it so much. If you're having a bad day, go do a walk and meditation. A lot of people are against meditation because they think, oh, I don't have time in the evening to sit there for 10, 15 minutes to actually lay there and lay still. I'm just too fidgety, I can't do it. That's fair enough. If you're not going to enjoy that, that's completely understandable. So why not try meditating while you're walking? It's a whole new world. A whole new world, a brand new place I've never seen. Number 18. Oh, this one really fuels me. Do not settle for love bombers. I honestly would say this 1,000 and 100 and 2,000 million trillion billion times. Do not settle for love bombers. I've been there before. I'll probably do it again, but no, I won't. Actually, that's a lie, because I've been there way too many times and it never ends well. If you're speaking to someone and they're making you feel like you're literally the best thing since sliced bread, that's great. But if it's constant, you have no break and it's constant, like, oh my God, you're amazing, you're the best thing I've ever had, I've never been with someone like this. I can't believe you're actually like, yeah, that's nice to a certain extent. But if you're constantly being fueled in that relationship, that situationship, by just them love bombing you, I would be wary, because I've been in that numerous times where I've been love bombed, been made to feel like, oh my God, they're obsessed with me, they're the only girl they've ever liked. Give it a couple months, I've been ghosted. So yeah, don't settle for love bombers, because they're just wanting your reaction. They're wanting that. They get bored, they get cold feet, and they think, can't be asked for this, see you later, I'll go love bomb someone else. So put your wary glasses on if you're done by a love bomber. Number 19. A lot of people may not agree with this, but I think in certain ways it is the way forward. Do not wait for men to approach you. You can approach men. Be confident in yourself. You know you're great. You know you're brilliant. Go and approach men yourself. Don't sit and wait there for them to come over to you, because yes, although that is the romantic way, the man's going to make the first move. A lot of men in this life are just scared, all right? And it doesn't mean they're a bad person, but they're scared like we're scared to do it. They're scared that they don't want to have to be the confident one when at times they may not be confident. You going over to them and approaching them will make them feel confident because you're putting your interest into them. So I just think, don't always sit there and think you've got to wait for the man to come up to you. You're never going to find a man until you walk into a bar and he walks over to you. No. If you're listening, go and find some confidence, because whoever's little ears I'm in right now, you're stunning, you're choffing lovely, and you can get what you want, all right? So go and approach him. Number 20. Number 20? What's that? Number 20. You can let life shape you, or you can shape your life. This one says a lot. You can sit there relating to my story. I can sit there, everything I went through, and I can become an upset violin player, victim, saying, oh, this is awful. Life's going to shape me now. I've been diagnosed with a grade 3 tumour. I've got nothing to do. I'm just going to sit here and cry. I'm not going to do anything. Boring. Why would I do that? You literally have the power to shape life yourself. You may think you don't, but you do, and that all comes with confidence. So don't sit there and think you were born on this planet to let life around you shape you, because that is false, my friend. Number 21, another deep one. What you're not changing, you are choosing. Whether that's related to health, fitness, your career path, where you live. If you're not changing something you don't like, you are consciously choosing it. You are. As much as you say, oh no, but I don't have an option. You do have an option. You can change it. If you're unhappy in your job, why are you just sitting there? Get your shoes on and get rolling to the next one. Try and look for the next one. Try and look for new opportunities. Try and go to events where you're going to connect with people that will get you onto that. I mean, it is easier said than done, but if you're sitting there upset about your health, feeling like you don't like your body image, change it. Teach yourself to self-love yourself. Get yourself to the gym. Start working out. Start going for walks. Put some self-love into yourself to change that aspect of your life, and then that is what you're choosing. Number 22, enjoy your current situation and stop chasing for the next stop. I feel like we're all constantly always on the go. We've done one thing. Okay, what's next? Okay, we've done that. Okay, what's next? We never actually sit there and appreciate how far we've come. If you were to compare yourself to this time a year ago, write down a list of how many things you've accomplished in this last year. You don't even realise how many things you are. It can be so small. It doesn't have to be major whole life changes. It can be anything. Any sort of small goals you've met, you need to appreciate how good you've done and learn to live in the present, because I feel like it's always when we look back at photos or videos or something from a certain day or a night out, we were like, oh my God, I wish I was back in that situation. But when you were actually in that situation, you weren't really as present as you should be. Yeah, you're enjoying it, but you need to actually think, next time you're in a situation where you're like, oh my God, I'm having so much fun, actually just take like 10 seconds back and look around you and be like, wow, I'm actually loving this. Because you really need to appreciate where you are before you move on to the next step, because otherwise life is going to flash before your eyes. Number 23, this is a new one, but HelloFresh is honestly unbelievable. If you're listening, let me start promoting, all right? But honestly, it will change your life. Because I know everyone gets the Sunday scaries. They're thinking, shit, what am I going to meal plan this week? I need to get back on my goals. I need to sort my dinners out. I need to sort my lunches out. Honestly, however many times you want it per week, you can get it one. You can order just one meal, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8. My boots and a baby, you drive me crazy. Anyway, if you order HelloFresh, sorry, I feel like, I don't know if anyone else does this, but if I say a certain word or someone else says a certain word, I always find a song to it. I think I've done it twice or 3 times in this episode, so sorry if it's really annoying, but that is just my internal thoughts coming out. HelloFresh is the way forward because it saves so much time planning and thinking about what you want. It's so great. Every week you get a whole new menu of different foods. So me and my sister, we have 3 meals a week for 4 people. So we'll have, and there's only 2 of us, we'll have it for dinner and then we'll have the leftovers for lunch. And it works so well. And then every week we just choose what we want for the next week and we don't have to go to the shops and buy it. It's your weekly food shop done. Honestly, I could not recommend it enough. So get on HelloFresh. Also, another thing for HelloFresh, there is no food waste because it's only for this certain amount you're having. You're not chucking the rest of it in the bin. So yeah, it's also sustainable in certain ways. Number 24, this one. Don't take criticism from someone you would not take advice from. Honestly, I feel like that is the realest statement, because if there's someone where you don't believe in their values, you don't believe in their opinions and certain things like that, how are you then believing in their criticism and critiques on you personally? That just does not work. It's so easy for us to take people's attacks as it's always the truth. I think it's because it goes down to deep issues where we are insecure. Of course, everyone is. Everyone has their own insecurities. But just don't take it from someone you won't take advice off of, because they mean nothing to you if you're not going to take advice off them. So don't even give them your time. Don't give them your energy to think about what they're going to say about you, because they can 0121 do one. And finally, number 25. Never worry about being too much for someone. If they don't like it, they can go. Honestly, I've related to this in so many different ways. If you're messaging someone and you're like, should I say this? I'm worried they're going to react like this. If they do, bye. If you're on a night out and you meet new friends and you're trying to introduce yourself and they're sort of, I don't know, judging you in certain ways, they're not agreeing with what you're saying, okay, bye. Don't feel like you're too much. Don't let other people's opinions judge how you see yourself, because we don't all know, but you should know your own worth. And if you're too much for someone, that means they are not the right person. And I've questioned myself so many times in the past. I'm always worried about what they're going to think than what I'm going to feel. And I feel like a lot of you listening can probably relate to this, because we're so worried about people judging us. We're so worried about how they're going to feel about us that we're too stuck on the regime of not saying how we actually feel or acting how we actually feel. At the end of the day, who cares? And this goes back to that other point. No one is thinking about you 24/7. You are not the main character. You're the main character to yourself, but not to everyone else's life. So they're not going to think about you. And if they do think about you too much and they don't like what you're doing, that is you as a person. So if they don't like that, bye. And this takes me back to my first song recommendation. Go on now, go. Walk out the door. Don't turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore. But anyway, that is 25 things I've learned in 25 years of living. I hope you guys liked that episode, and I'm sorry if I probably ended up repeating myself on certain things. You may not agree with them, but I do. So thank you everyone for listening. And Oscar, how do you feel about that? Did you think that was a good episode? Really? Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening, everyone. And I'd love to hear back from you if you prefer, not if you prefer, but if you like these episodes of me on my own, because I feel like I can connect with you more. And going forward, if I do more episodes like this on my own, I'll put questions out there for you to answer if you want me to answer any certain topics, any questions, anything you need help or advice for. I am your girl. So yeah, see you later. Hasta luego.